Thought I'd start off today's episode with a fun little game of Spot the Fake. Not the cup of tea, by the way. That's real. That's so you know it really is me. I actually am back making an episode. Well, the title of the video definitely gives one of them away. Regular viewers will definitely recognise two of them. So out of the remaining two, which one's the fake? Pop your ideas, guesses, whatever in the comments. I'll let you know whether you're right or not. I'm embarrassed to admit I've just wasted time trying to knock a hair off of the lens of the camera on my phone, only to realise it's actually quite an extensive crack in the screen protector. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, on to the subject of today's review. The Denix Mauser K98 Replica. So, initial impressions. Do you know, it's actually not bad. I'd say this is better than the SMLE Replica in many respects. The safety catch, okay, it's not functional, but it actually wobbles, it's not just cast in. Bolt action on it is far better than on the SMLE Replica. The trigger, well, that's not particularly realistic, I have to say. The triggers on Mausers, the K98s, are dreadful. All I can say is, Denix, whoever it is who designs your triggers, can you get them to have a word with Timney or Jewel, because this is actually, if this was on a real Mauser, that'd be really, really good. Sight, back sight, okay, it's cast. Yeah, cast. The slider does not move at all, but it's quite nicely, cleanly done. Not bad, really. As there are the odd casting mark ridge here and there. The most noticeable is underneath the trigger guard there and the magwell. Bit annoying, but it's nothing I couldn't resolve if I really felt the need to. Got this weird mark here. I can't tell if it's from the casting, an extruder, or whether there's a pin being knocked in there. Really can't tell. That's a bit odd. Otherwise, we've got Denix. Oh, you'll have to read it upside down. Denix made in Spain, cast in there onto the lug for the bayonet. Cleaning rod doesn't turn, doesn't unscrew, doesn't come out. Front sight fixed. You're not going to be able to knock that side to side. Not that you'd need to zero a replica anyway. Bore, quite nicely done. Could have done with a little bit of a crown on it maybe, just for a bit more realism, but not bad. But yeah, weight wise, I mean, if you want to know weights, lengths, that sort of thing, look on the manufacturer's websites, because that's the best way to find out the accurate information. Don't go off of stuff that some idiot on YouTube tells you. Oh, another thing, the bolt release. It does kind of pull out, but when you pull it out, it doesn't actually release the bolt. I think there's a bolt or something, a screw through the side of the receiver here, holding the bolt in place. Another little sort of realism point, the screws front and back here, they're probably nowhere near beefy enough, and they've got that same Denix look, like hardware shop screws really, not really military issue. Got the sling swivel point, well, a swivel attachment point there, and on the side of the barrel band there, so we're going to fit the sling in a minute, because that's something that the owner of this gun wanted me to do. As well as, there's a little modification he wants me to make just to up the realism, and that is the end of the cleaning rod there. You've got the bayonet sort of fitment there. The bayonet does not fit. That was my knee, by the way. So here we have a rather nice bayonet. This is a replica, but do you know what? It's not bad, and when I took it out of the packaging, I did actually stab myself on it. So can't see it, but down in there, the bottom of that, there's actually a hole for the end of the cleaning rod to go into, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, yeah, that cleaning rod just is not going to fit. It's just slightly too big. So it's something I'm just going to have to take a bit of material off of that and then refinish it. This is a really nice replica. Again, I'm not sure about these fixings here, but it's nicely done. Oh God, oh, it's tight. There we go. Yeah, faults with it, just this annoying little stamp there, maker's mark. It's the same on this scabbard. There's this manufacturer there. I mean, that would be hidden if we had a frog, which we haven't, but yeah, you've just got to think about which way you put it in. Put it in that way round, you haven't got to look at that logo. Other than that, locking mechanism works. So yeah, it's going to be interesting once that's actually fitted on. It should look pretty good. And I've dropped it. Oh well, damage adds realism. Right, let's fit this sling. This is actually a little bit awkward, so is trying to get it in shot. Here we go. Right. Okay. And for this, you are going to have to excuse the fact that you may see my slippers. It's cold. My feet are cold. I'm wearing slippers. You know, that's it. I'm not going to justify myself. Right, what sling do we have? The sling we're going to fit is this one from Soldier of Fortune. Comes in two parts. This piece you'll need later. This piece you'll need straight away. Realism wise, not bad, but this piece here is powder coated and that kind of detracts a bit from the realism, but do you know what, it's not bad, and for the money you pay, about 15 quid, really not bad at all. Right, let's fit it. Get your sling, make sure that these two here are right at this end, and what you need to do is like so. So, the sling as a little visual guide to help you with fitting it. What you always want to think of is that's the piece that you're going to see, and that piece is either going to be against you or the gun, or itself, as we shall see. Make sure that this little slider here is all the way back. Take this end, pass it through. There we go. What you want to do now is give yourself plenty of slack. You can make all the adjustments at that end later. It's a little fault, I have to say, with this Soldier of Fortune sling, and that's that it is actually starting to mark already. I mean, yeah, okay, it adds to realism a bit, but you know, even so. Then this end, pass it through the slot in the butt. Might be a little bit stiff to start with. Like every time you're trying to stick it in the butt, it'll take a little bit of effort, but get there eventually. Flip the gun over, get your little keeper piece here, and what you want to think of is that is going to sit like that. So it needs to come through first. So now I actually have it on this first hole here. Is a pain. There we go, that's the method. So stick the end through first. Come on. Come on. There we go. Pop. On. Now pull. Go. Flip it back over. Now you can adjust the positioning of it and pull the slack through. There we go, and lock, and lock. There we go. Then you want to adjust it so it actually fits your body. And that's how you fit a K98 sling. I'm sure someone's going to say, that's not how you do it. Well, okay, it's how I fitted it. Just one thing I don't like about the sling is the end of it here kind of gets in the way of your hand a bit. You know, I don't know if that's original or what, but I mean, to me that looks like it's the right way around. All the cutouts are there and everything, so it makes sense, but I don't know. Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, anybody who wonders what this is on the K98, that's actually for taking the bolt apart. Very clever. One of those things, yes, very, very clever. field stripping. Right, got this sight protector as well that the owner asked me to fit, again from Soldier of Fortune, again powder coated fittings. Pop it on. I'm assuming it goes this way around because you'd have the wood there with the leather, otherwise if that was on this metal part of the barrel it would get hot during firing and burn. So first step, do that up so it's nice and tight. There we go. I've got it on the second hole there. Pop that through, and then this bit here can be a bit of a faff because Soldier of Fortune stuff on replicas is always tight. Has anybody who's ever tried to fit one of their Lee Enfield action covers to either a replica or a real Lee Enfield will attest. It's a bit of a chore. You just want to sort of push. Come on. There we go. And on. So the reason for that part there just gives the sight a bit of protection. Quite a few of the guns would have had that during transportation, during marching, that sort of thing. It's got this leather retainer strapped there, so then in theory in combat you could fairly quickly, and I say fairly quickly, if it was a real one probably, just sort of flip it to one side. You've got your sight and the strap holds it in place. Quite clever really. Pop that back on for him. Well, for myself, because this will be in my possession until I can get around to making that modification. There we go. So, all complimentary so far, yeah? Yeah, there's a couple of little details that I don't like. So, pull the bolt back and you can see wood down in there. Yeah, kind of spoils it a bit. Could you even have just painted it black or something? You know, or hollowed it out? Just something. It's just a bit naff. I suppose it's for strength. Another issue, well, it does have a tiny bit of damage there, so I'm going to sort that out for him, just make it look pristine. Realism again, this catch here should be sprung loaded. To allow releasing of that barrel band, it's just a cast piece. It's nothing major I suppose really. Would have been nice if the cleaning rod had have been removable. That's, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I suppose then though someone would potentially lose it, and you know how it is with Denix, they don't supply spare parts. You have to buy a whole new one just to buy a cleaning rod. Otherwise, I mean, I think it's not bad really. Yeah, I think it's worth the money. It's good. I would rate this as better than their SMLE replica. So on that note, we'll close out the video. We'll come back at a later date when I can actually do this modification. But otherwise, yeah, their slings are good. We've got sort of a date mark, a maker here, NKA. There's the Waffen stamped there, which doesn't actually have the naughty logo. There's just sort of a cross in the centre of it. So yeah, all's good there. You know, I think for the money you pay for the sling, the sight protector, they're pretty good. The gun itself, yeah, I think it's worth the money. Oh, this is quite good when you fire it. See, it's like a Mauser. It's good. It's good. The bayonet as well. I'm impressed by that. I have had a couple of Soldier of Fortune replica bayonets in the past, and sorry guys, they were pretty rubbish. This I like. I do like it. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. Yeah, I'll try and source him a frog for it or something like that. See what I can do. So, summed up, Denix Mauser with add-ons. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it, it's good. Kind of jealous, wish I had the money to buy one. Little update, I mentioned previous video about my four-wheel drive. Had to go to the great scrapyard in the sky, unfortunately. The rust was far too extensive to rebuild it, so it's a bit of a sad day when she went. Going to be broken up for bits and sent off to Cameroon apparently, so that's interesting. At least it's helping to keep others alive though, so that's the main thing. Health-wise, mentioned previously about my back, I've got more nerve impingement. This time it's affecting my left arm, which gives me basically sciatic pain. Like you've trapped your sciatic nerve in your back. I don't know if any of you have ever done it. It's excruciating. I've now got that in my left arm, and yeah, it's making working quite difficult. Yeah, it's quite bad. Waiting for an MRI scan, but with the NHS, who knows? It'll probably be in July. So enough harping on from me, whinging. Hope all are well, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you could like, share and subscribe. If you didn't, okay, pop a dislike, but just say why, you know, so then I can improve for next time. Otherwise, well, there's just no point doing it, is there?